Welcome back. I'm David Nelson for the Traders Network show, broadcasting worldwide from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange for iHeart Radio and Equities.com. We're here for an event being hosted by the United Nations Sustainable Stock Exchanges Initiative. I've gotten to speak to a range of guests today. My next guest is Vajira Kulatilaka, chairman of the Colombo Stock Exchange in Sri Lanka. Mr. Kulatilaka, I apologize. Thanks so much for being with us, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, not only are you chairman of the exchange, but one of the things I learned last night is you're also a director of the NDB Investment Bank. Is that correct, sir?
Yes. Yes.
How do you manage to cover two roles like that? It's a pretty big job. One job enough. I find doing one job very difficult. You manage to do two. How do you do that?
Yeah, I believe in days, 24 hours and plus, but there's a lot of similarities between the two jobs also. Base is the same, so I can manage. I think up to now I have managed it successfully.
You've obviously done it very successfully. The CSE, which stands for Colombo Stock Exchange, has played a pretty important role with regards to transparency and other initiatives. What do you hope to accomplish maybe over the next year?
There are big thing that can happen over next year is that we are going to do a lot of risk management type of activities. As we, you know, the country went through a very bad patch of 30 years of unsettled conditions, and we couldn't implement some of these things. So we are going to put up a CCP, counterparty guarantee system, and with that we think that the risk level of the whole country, capital market will come down. So that's a major initiative.
Is that the main goal? Get the risk level
risk
down?
levels down, because we could implement those things during last few years. So we are doing that. Second one is we want to make sure that the sustainable growth and the transparency and the regulation side will improve. So we are going to have a Securities Exchange Commission is going to have a new act, which will also give a lot of regulatory powers to Securities Exchange Commission, and then we will start attracting capital. We have to do a lot of marketing. The country has to be placed in a different position itself to a different level. So we are going to have a lot of road shows around the world to attract capital. So there also we hope that this sustainable initiative will help us to do it.
Your exchange just joined the initiative today, is that correct?
Yes.
What prompted that decision? How did you come upon that?
Two things. One is after going through that bad patches, we need capital, and some of these capital providers really want these initiatives to go on. And we second one is we genuinely believe that for the future generation's sake, we should do these things. Sustainability is a very important thing. We can't go 5 steps forward and 1 step backward because of sustainable problems. It should not be the case. Sustainability should be a long-term procedure, and we think this will help us to do it.
Part of your job, I would imagine, is bringing this to the companies on your exchange now and selling them on the idea. Are they embracing it? How do they feel about it so far?
Some have already embraced it, and in their disclosures, information, they do provide this initiative. But we will initially do it in mandatory basis, encourage them to do it, educate, and with time we will make it compulsory towards the latter part of the...
I'm short on time, and I wanted to get this in. How does the Sustainable Stock Exchanges Initiative and their activities over the next few years, how will you integrate with that? What do you think you'll be doing?
As I said, first step is to educate.
Educate
all the listed companies and potential listed companies. Potential listed companies are huge, and they are small companies that are growing. Everybody has in their mind ultimately to list, so we have to go on educating why this is so important. Secondly, we will start implementing step by step those initiatives and make it ultimately mandatory.
Education, that's a great word. Any final thoughts or words you'd like to express to the UN SSE?
It's a great initiative, and that I think countries like us will really help us to look into these aspects, because some countries, I think, in the past forgot about this aspect, and they went ahead with development with forgetting about sustainability, and they are suffering now. So we are starting our process after a bad period of time, and now we are starting our growth trajectory. good to start it with these things in mind. So we will not go backward. We will always go forward.
Not go backward. Well said, sir. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
That was Mr. Kulatilaka, chairman of the Colombo Stock Exchange. By the way, a quick thank you goes out to 1-800 1-800 Public Relations for all the PR and media support. Thanks for joining. I'm David Nelson.